Hi everyone, welcome to Everything Stitching. In this video, I am going to show you guys how to make a crocheted bucket hat. These are super fun to make and you can make them up pretty quickly. So what I'm using is a 4 medium weight yarn. I'm actually using the Lion Brand Jeans one. I think it's called, oh yeah, they just call it Brand New, which is kind of weird. But anyways, it's really soft. It's the same yarn, not the same color, but the same yarn that I'm using for the crochet hoodie that I'm making. And I've just really been enjoying using it for that. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta make myself a bucket hat too. So, all right, so what we first need to do is make a, also, I am using a 5mm hook for this. So what we're gonna do is make a magic ring to get our bucket hat started. So I've got my magic ring, and then now that I did that, I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do 10 double crochets into my magic ring. Okay, so take your time because working in the magic ring can be tricky and it's not a race. So just take your time. So that was 1. And 2. And I'm gonna keep going, okay? So I'm gonna do a total of 10 and then I will meet you back here. Okay, so I have 10 double crochets. Now I'm going to close up my magic ring. And to do that, we just get the tail of the magic ring. Just go ahead and pull that. Don't get too crazy with pulling it. You don't want to make it too tight. Now what you're going to want to do is slip stitch into the top of your first, let me see if it'll zoom. Make sure you guys can see it. Into the first double crochet that we had, okay? So those 2 V's, put your hook through it, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through what you are on. And really, Cashew? And then that slip stitches your the last double crochet to the first one of the round, okay? So that's our first round, and what we're gonna do for every round is the beginning of every round is gonna have a chain 2, and then the end of every round is going to slip stitch into the first double crochet of that round. So just so you're kind of aware of the beginning and ending of every single round, and then I'll explain everything else onward as well. Okay, so we finished that, so now we're gonna chain 2 for our second round. And then we're going to increase now in every stitch of this round. Okay, so we're going to do 2 double crochets into each stitch of this round. Now what I like to do when I'm working in the round is I like to mark that first stitch just to make sure that we're not miscounting. Okay, so I did 2 double crochets in that first stitch. Now I'm going to do another 2 double crochets into this one. So the last round was a total of 10 double crochets, and since we are increasing in every stitch of this round, we're going to end this round with a total of 20. Okay, so I'm just going to work on this, doing 2 double crochets into each stitch, and then I'm going to show you guys what to do for round 3. Okay, so then we finished that round. Now what I'm going to do is take off my stitch marker, and I'm going to slip stitch it into that first double crochet of the round, and now we finished that round. Okay. If you see little cat hairs coming out, it's just from Cashew. Okay, so now we're going to chain 2 as we begin all rounds, And now for this round, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 1 double crochet and then 1 increase, 1 double crochet, 1 increase. So that's what the pattern is gonna be for this one. So we're going to insert our hook into that first stitch, and we do 1 double crochet, and then I'm going to mark that again. And then in this stitch, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. And then in the next one, I'm only going to do 1 double crochet. Oops, that one's getting a little bit caught. And then that is going to be the pattern for this whole row, or round I should say, is 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. So 1 double crochet, oh, okay, apparently Cashew's just gonna push my arm. 1 double crochet, and then the next one we're going to increase in it. Okay, so I'm going to keep this going for this round 3, and then we'll meet back at the end of this round. Okay, you guys, so I finished that round. Now the next step is to remove my stitch marker and then slip stitch into that first double crochet of the round. Oops, I'm sorry you guys, I was out of focus there. Okay, now that I slip stitched it, now on this round, what we're going to do once again is chain 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet, and then go ahead and mark that stitch. And then the next stitch is going to be another double crochet, and then the stitch after that we're going to increase. So this pattern now for this whole round is going to be double crochet, increase. So double crochet to this stitch, double crochet into this stitch, and then we're going, okay, that's really nice. Cashew just knocked something off the table. And then we're going to increase into this one. And increase just means we're putting 2 double crochets into the same stitch. Okay, so that's the pattern. Double crochet, and then increase. Double crochet, increase. Until we get all the way around again, and then we'll slip stitch into that first one. Okay, so I finished that round. Now we're going to work on round number 5. So we're going to chain 2, and then the patterns going forward for each round until we complete round 8. Okay, so we're going to get up to round 8. So we're going to be doing, let's see, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 more rows. Okay, and each row is going to be having 1 additional double crochet before you do your increase. Okay, so the last row we did 2 double crochets and then an increase. So this row we're going to do 3 double crochets and then an increase, and then the next one is going to be 4 double crochets and then an increase, right? So just add a double crochet stitch before you increase in each round, okay, to get an even looking circle. Okay, so what we're going to do is we chain 2. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 3 double crochets, right? 1, 2, 3. And then now in this stitch, we're going to do our increase, which means 2 double crochets into the same stitch. And there we go. So that's our pattern. Okay, then on the next row, we're going to be doing 4 double crochets and then an increase, and keep going until we end with round 8. At that time, don't forget at the end of each row that you slip stitch into your first double crochet before you chain 2 and then work on your next row. So I'm going to work on this, and then at the end of row 8 we will meet back here and I will show you how to work on row 9, which is a bit different. We're going to kind of like work on like the rim part of it, but this is the base part that sits at the top of your head. So once you finish round 8, if you, thank you Cashew, if you feel like it needs to be bigger because you place it on your head and you want it to be bigger than that, then do another row or 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is work on this and move Cashew, and I'll meet you guys back here at the end of round 8. Okay, so I finished round 8, and here is the size that we've got, the circumference of the top of the head, bucket hat. I couldn't think of the name. Okay, so I slip stitched into that. Now for round 9, we're going to chain 2 like we have been this whole time. That hasn't changed. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to do a 1 double crochet into each stitch. But the only difference is we're only doing it in the back loop for this whole round, okay? And this is what's going to give us our, basically that part where it like flaps over, right? So that way we don't just keep going out like a pancake. We're going to finally go down so we can actually have this go down our head, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put a stitch marker in right here. And then we're just going to do a 1 double crochet into the back loop of each stitch for this whole round. Then, so that's for round 9. Then for rounds 10 through 15, you're going to just do a double crochet into each stitch, not in the back loop, just into each stitch. So the 9th round, we're just doing a double crochet into the back loop only. And then rounds 10 through 15, we are doing 1 double crochet into each stitch. And then we're going to meet back here after row or round 15 to show you guys what we're going to do for round 16. Okay, we finished round 15, and then we slip stitched into the first double crochet, and then I chained 2 just now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be working in the front loop only for this round, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to double crochet in the front loop only for 8 stitches, okay? And then after that we're going to do an increase. So make sure that you're only working in the front loop. So let me show you what I mean. I'm trying to move my, here we go. So this, we're getting our hook and we're only putting it in the first one, not in both, okay? And this is how we're going to start making the rim of our hat. That's what we're doing right now. That's why we want to do the front loop only instead of the back loop only, is to give that the rim look of it. Okay, so like I said, you're going to want to double crochet into the front loop only for the first 8 stitches. I was not counting, to be honest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to do 1 more, and that's 8. Okay. Then in our next one, still working in the front loop only, we're going to do an increase. So we're going to do 2 double crochets in the front loop only after every 8 stitches throughout this whole round. Okay? So we're just going to do 8, and then on the 9th one, we're going to add or increase. Okay, and then for round 17, you're only going to do a double crochet in each stitch, not in the front loop or in the back loop, but in the whole entire stitch, right? So under both of your V's, and no increases. And then in round 18, you're going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch, and then every 9th stitch you're going to increase, and you're going to continue with that pattern of alternating between 1 double crochet in each stitch for 1 round, and then the next round is going to be 1 double crochet into each stitch, except for on the 9th stitch is when you increase. So you're going to have just a regular double crochet round, and then an increase round, and then a double crochet round and an increase round. And you're basically going to do that until you get your rim as far out as you want. Just like we did for making the size of the top of it, making like the sides of it, same thing with the rim. Depending on how the space that you want to make it for your head or for whoever you're making it for, that's going to depend on how large you're going to make it, right? So I'm pretty sure for me, what I'm going to do is do 5 rounds of the rim. And that's going to be my size. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to end up doing, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So this is my first round of the rim, so I'm going to end up doing 4 more and after this round, and then seeing how it looks and then go from there. But what I need to do is look where I did my double crochet, and I need to find out how many I've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to do 6, and then 7, and 8, and then in this 9th one is when we're going to do 2 double crochets into our stitch. And remember, this round is the only round that we're working in the front loop only. As we work on those other alternating rounds, they're going to be through both loops. This is just to get that rim to poke out on that first section. See how it makes it pop out to create your rim. Okay, so now I'm going to just keep with my pattern of every 9th stitch of this round is going to be an increase. My next row is just going to be a double crochet into each stitch. Then the round after that is going to be an increase after each 9th stitch. Then the row after that is going to just be double crochets, so on and so forth. Like I said, until I get 5 rounds of the rim, and then I'm going to take a gander and see if I'm happy with that size, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I finished my last row for the rim, or brim, whatever you want to call it. And I ended up doing 5 rounds of the rim. I put it on, and I probably could go another round or 2, but you know what? I don't want this one to be a really floppy one, so I'm going to stop here. But you can keep going further if you would like to. So what you're going to want to do is you slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. Go ahead and pull that through. And then we just need to weave in our ends and we're done. Like, isn't that just so crazy how you can make so many projects with a yarn or a yarn and a crochet hook? It's just amazing. I just find it so fascinating, like the things that can be accomplished with a few items. Okay, you guys, it's done. Here it is. Let's look at this. Okay, let me move this one out of the way. Check it out. It is so stinking cute. I love this hat. It is going to be so comfortable. This is really good for when you're going on vacation and you just want to like chuck it in your suitcase. It doesn't take up any room at all, but it's going to protect your head from the sun, and you're going to look cute and stylish at the same time. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, there's Cashew's hair. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I had a lot of fun making this. I want to make many more, but probably next summer, since we're in the winter and I don't really need to make a bunch of these right now. But we're gonna make more next summer and get all different fun colors and variations and go from there. But this particular pattern is fantastic for a bucket hat. The sizing is great, and then you can just work with, you know, decreasing and increasing where you need to. So it's fantastic. Please like and subscribe. Stay tuned. As always, we have a million fun videos to come. See you guys next time.